Self-publishing as a business model has changed over the last 10 years since I first started. And yes, it is becoming more challenging, no questions about it. But it is still the simplest and fastest way to start generating real passive income, if you know it's working now. In today's video, I'm gonna share the 7 things that I would do if I were starting from scratch on Amazon KDP right now with no books, no audience, and no idea what to publish, so that I could start making at least $1,000 a month as quickly as possible. And stick around until the end, because number 7 is going to have you thinking much further outside the box. I'm Rachel Harrison-Sund, and I help people turn simple book ideas into passive income streams. If I was starting out from scratch on Amazon KDP and I wanted to make the most amount of money possible, the first thing I would do is skip the biggest mistake that I see new self-publishers make, and that is to create a book that they want to create, not what a shopper actually wants to buy. So what to do instead? Create books that are already in demand. You have to validate your idea by finding out if real shoppers are actually already searching for that topic. And if no one is searching for your book idea, don't make it. You might think that a cat hairball logbook is a great idea, but does anybody else? Now, there are free tools you can use to help you assess demand. AMZ Suggestion Expander is a good one. I love the paid tool Publisher Rocket. The point is, you have to be willing to create what the market actually is telling you that it wants. When I first started publishing fiction, I was publishing gay werewolf shifter romance. I know, what a mouthful. Now, was I publishing this because this was one of my top interests? No, I'd never even heard of this niche before. That's where the demand was, so I filled that demand. And subsequently, I was able to make tens of thousands of dollars in that kind of out-of-the-box niche that I never would have even discovered had I not been doing my research. The lesson here is to go where the research takes you, even if you've never heard of it before, and even if it's a little bit outside of your comfort zone. Now, if you're not even sure how to get started doing some of that research, download my free guide, 3 Steps to Publishing Your First Low-Content Book in Less Than a Day. I've linked to that down in the description below. That's going to give you everything that you need to get going. Tip number 2 is to stand out or be forgotten. It is totally fine to follow trends, and you probably should, but you have to do something different in order to stand out. Otherwise, you're just going to get lost in the sea of hundreds, maybe even thousands of other people also trying to cash in on that same trend. If your book is too similar to the successful book that you're trying to model it after, your only strategy is to undercut their price. And that means less royalties for you. If you're going to create a book that's basically the same as one that's already out there, yours has to be better, objectively better than the one that's already a top seller. If you can't be better, be different. You can do this by creating a new sub-niche, combining 2 niches together, but think about how you can turn the trending niche on its head. So a good example of this that I'm seeing right now that's really taken off is the reverse coloring book. If you publish coloring books, you know it's a saturated market, but you can still make money if you find a way to stand out. And the reverse coloring book is a great example of someone who's completely turned that niche on its head. An example of my own is when I was publishing mainly planners. There was a huge trend toward floral design planners, but there were literally thousands of them. So what I did, because I grew up in a British household, I took all the British slang that I had grown up with and I started putting key phrases on the front, kind of like snarky British slang phrases. That really allowed my books to stand out in this crowded niche, and those books ended up doing really well despite the heavy competition. Most of the floral planners out there had kind of a whimsical feel to them. Because mine had the snarky phrase on the cover, there is a bit of a juxtaposition between this beautiful whimsical floral pattern and then this kind of crass saying on the front that just made people laugh. All right, next tip. If you're a self-publisher who really wants to start making money on Amazon KDP, you've got to ditch the dollar store strategy. The dollar store strategy is when you find a book that's doing really well on Amazon, and then you create a very similar book and just undercut the price. And that's really what you have to do if your book is too similar to the one that you're modeling it after. If you're not trying to make it different somehow, your only choice is to undercut the price. And when you employ this strategy, you have to create books at large volume to make up for the much smaller royalties that you're going to get. So just like a dollar store, you're competing purely by being the cheapest option. And you cannot successfully scale if you're only making 50 cents on every sale that you make. The solution here is don't target bargain basement shoppers. Instead, think about how you can create more premium products so that you can justify a premium price. Be thoughtful and get creative. This also means not even bothering at all with no content books. Blank sketchbooks, plain line journals, you're not going to make any money on these books, so just don't even bother with them. If you want to publish, one blank book or one plain line journal, just to prove to yourself that you can publish something and get it out there, I think that's a great first step. But once you understand that process initially, you've got to move on to higher value books. And for pricing strategy, always try and get at least $2 royalty per unit sold. So use KDP's print cost and royalty calculator when you're setting the price for your book. You just need to enter in some of your details and it'll show you what your minimum list price is going to be and what your royalty is going to be. I always shoot for at least a $2 royalty. Next is to look like a real brand, not just a hobbyist publisher. When someone clicks on your author page, what are they going to see? Are they going to see a nice professional looking, cohesive, small group of books? Or are they going to see dozens of books in highly disparate niches? And I admit I was super guilty of that when I first got going as well. But all the books on your author page, they should feel like they belong together. Like you are the expert in that one particular niche. Don't publish a Christian devotional coloring book alongside a swear word coloring book, right? The two don't go together. This might mean having different pen names if you do have success in two very unrelated niches, and that's okay. But brands have a very cohesive look, so make sure you're using a similar design aesthetic across all the books, and most importantly, make sure they're all in related niches, ideally one niche. Okay, the next tip is to launch smart. Don't just publish your book and then sit back and think that your work is over. If you want to give your book the absolute best chance that it has at success, it's a really good idea to try and generate at least 10 reviews in that first 7-day window from whenever you publish. This means creating an ARC team, or what I call in my program, a street team. An ARC stands for Advanced Reader Copy. So you want to round up a small group of people, ideally people that are members of your target audience or target market, offer to send them a free advanced digital copy of your book. On launch day, you want to then email all of those people and ask them to go ahead and leave the review. Now, if they haven't purchased a copy, it's going to be an unverified review. So if you have anyone in your network that would be willing to, ask them to actually buy a copy of the book on launch day, and then when they leave their review, that's going to show up as a verified review. So psychologically, shoppers are just a lot more likely to buy a product when there are positive reviews associated with that product. It's social proof. The more positive reviews a book has, the more it's going to sell. So this can really help your book get off to a great start. Now, if you want help on how to generate ethical reviews fast, you can check out this video up here. Now, here's another tip if you plan on launching your book in multiple formats. So, paperback, hardcover, audiobook. Launch only one format at a time. When sales start coming in, you don't want the sales split between 2 or 3 different formats. You want all your sales going toward one format at a time, because each format has a different ISBN. And if you want to become a bestseller in one of your categories, you can't have those sales split between multiple ISBNs. They all have to count toward one ISBN. So whichever format you decide to release first, whether that's a Kindle, a paperback, or a hardcover, if you are trying to become a bestseller, just release one at a time. And then after you achieve that goal, then introduce another format or the final 2 formats. Next tip is to build an audience of your own. And when I say build an audience, I'm talking about building an email list. And don't worry if you're only gonna have like 1 or 2 people to begin with. We all start with 1 or 2 people and it just grows from there. But the point of the email list is that you want to have a direct relationship with the people who are buying your book. When your buyer is on your email list, you can nurture that buyer. You can provide value to them over time, and they're going to be more likely to buy another product from you down the line. Next time you release a book, you're not going to have to rely solely on the Amazon algorithm. You'll be able to email someone who's already proven that they're interested in your products because they've already bought one. You'll be able to sell to them directly. And when I say sell to them directly, I'm talking about, still sending them to Amazon, but you will be able to contact them directly and let them know that your latest product is ready for sale. So to get people onto your email list, all you need to do is offer some sort of a freebie or a bonus in the front and or the back of your book. It's easy to do this. Just slap a QR code in there. The freebie doesn't have to be super complicated. Something really simple and relevant is all you really need. Something that The buyer, if they see it inside that book, they're going to think, oh, this is something that I could use, and then want to download whatever that bonus is. Most self-publishers aren't doing this. They either think it's too hard, or they're not thinking long-term enough, like, oh my God, I'm gonna get like 1 email subscriber a week. Who cares? Start now, and by the end of the year, you're gonna have a slowly growing pool of buyers that are interested in your offers. So start it now, and those benefits are going to accumulate over time. Now, most people stop here. But if you want to go beyond just royalties on Amazon KDP and build a long-term, life-changing, truly scalable business, here's what you need to do. You need to think beyond Amazon. Now, Amazon is a very powerful platform to get started on. It's got built-in SEO giving you instant visibility. It's got built-in traffic that you'd probably never be able to get to your own website if you were selling direct. But if you've got something bigger in mind besides just publishing, start thinking bigger than just Amazon. So this might mean getting your own ISBNs so that you're able to publish on any other platform. When you use KDP's free ISBN, you are giving them exclusive rights to publish your book. You're not going to be able to publish on any other platforms. If you have your own ISBN, not only can you sell on other platforms, you can also sell on your own website if you choose to do that. If you found a popular niche on Amazon, think about how you might be able to expand that off the platform. Can you start building a following on Instagram or YouTube or some other platform? Convert that growing audience into email subscribers. From there, that opens up doors to create new offers and offer them to your growing audience. That could be paid workshops, online courses, paid communities or memberships, even things like media and speaking opportunities. And this really isn't all theory. This is what one of my Low Content Profits Academy students actually did. She went from a struggling low content publishing business to a best-selling author with a community of over 200,000 people. And last time I talked to her, she's landed her own TV show, all in the niche that she's publishing on in Amazon KDP. And if you want to see how she went from publishing low content books to creating this deeply meaningful, insanely successful business, you can check out this video right here.